Today in our class, let us discuss about hypersensitivity reactions. What is hypersensitivity reaction means? Answer from the normal student will be the exaggerated response of immune system in our body is called hypersensitivity. That is exaggerated response of immune system is called hypersensitivity. This is a definition from the normal student, that is exaggerated response of immune system in our body is called hypersensitivity. But the correct definition for this hypersensitivity is, the hypersensitivity is nothing but tissue repair response of our body. Tissue damage repair response of our body. This is a definition from the clever student, that is hypersensitivity is nothing but the tissue damage repair response of our body is called hypersensitivity. Now basically the hypersensitivity is differentiated into 4 types, that is hypersensitivity reactions are classified into 4 types, that is first one is type 1 hypersensitivity reactions. Second one is type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. Type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. Type 1 hypersensitivity reactions, type 2 hypersensitivity reactions, and next one is type 3 hypersensitivity reactions. Sensitivity reactions. This is the third type, that is type 3 hypersensitivity reactions. Now last one is type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. Or sensitivity reactions. These are the 4 different types of classes of hypersensitivity reaction, that is type 1 hypersensitivity reactions, type 2 hypersensitivity reactions, type 3 hypersensitivity reactions, and type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. Now the main important chemicals which are required for this hypersensitivity reactions, that is which is mediated by the immune system, that is it requires antigen. First one is antigen is important, whereas next one is antibody is important. These two will combine together and form antigen antibody complexes. Antigen antibody complexes. Antigen antibody complexes. It is the basics of hypersensitivity reaction, that is it is differentiated into 4 forms: type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 4. Now in type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 4, we should study about the characteristic features of antigen and antibodies. Now if we discuss about in type 1 hypersensitivity reactions, let us discuss about antigen. In hypersensitivity reaction, type 1 hypersensitivity reactions, the antigen will be free. It will be free and floating. It will be free and floating in the cytoplasm. That is about antigen. If we discuss about antibodies, we discussed that antigens are free and floating, whereas the antibodies in type 1 hypersensitivity reactions are fixed. on macrophages or fixed on mast cells. Antibodies are fixed on mast cells. Now, the type of antibodies which are present in type 1 hypersensitivity reactions are IgE type. IgE type of antibodies are present in type 1 hypersensitivity reactions. This is about basics of type 1 hypersensitivity reactions, whereas antigen is free and floating in the cytoplasm or plasma, whereas antibodies are fixed on mast cells. The type of antibodies which are present in hypersensitivity type 1 are IgE type of antibodies. Now, coming to the type 2 hypersensitivity reactions, antigens are fixed. Here we discussed that antigens are free, whereas in case of type 2 hypersensitivity reactions, the antigens are fixed on surface. These are fixed on surface. This is about antigens. Now coming to the antibodies. The antibodies in type 2 hypersensitivity reactions are free and floating. Free and floated. Now, this is about type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. This is type 1 hypersensitivity reaction and this is type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. Now coming to the type 3 hypersensitivity reactions. Coming to the character of antigen. The antigens which are involved in type 3 hypersensitivity reactions are free and floating. Free and floating. This is a characteristic feature of antigen in type 3 hypersensitivity reactions. Now, if we discuss about the antibodies. The antibodies which are involved in type 3 hypersensitivity reactions are also free and floating. Free and floating. Now, here in type 3 hypersensitivity reactions, antigen is free and floating and antibody is also free and floating. Now, the antigen antibody complexes which are formed, antigen antibody complex which is formed, it will be freely floating in the plasma. This is about type 3 hypersensitivity reactions. Now, last one, type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. It is the type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. It is completely different from type 1, type 2, type 3. So, it is mediated by antigen and antibody, that is immune response of our body. Now, type 4 hypersensitivity reactions is based on cell mediated immunity. Cell mediated hypersensitivity reaction. This is a cell mediated hypersensitivity response of our body. So this is about basics of hypersensitivity reactions, that is, it is the tissue damage repair response of our body, and it is classified into 4 forms, that is type 1 hypersensitivity, type 2 hypersensitivity, type 3 hypersensitivity and type 4 hypersensitivity. In type 1 hypersensitivity, the antigens are free and floating in the serum and antibodies are fixed on mast cells. Now, in type 2 hypersensitivity reactions, antigens are fixed on surface whereas antibodies are floating in plasma. Now, the type of antibodies which are present in type 2 hypersensitivity is IgM type. IgM type of antibodies are involving in type 2 hypersensitivity reactions, whereas in type 3 hypersensitivity reactions, antigens are free and floating and antibodies are free and floating. Now, the type of antibodies which are involving in the type 3 hypersensitivity reactions are, it may be IgE type or it may be IgM type. It may be IgE type or it may be IgM type. Now, type 4 hypersensitivity reactions is cell mediated hypersensitivity response. Now, This is about the basics of hypersensitivity reactions. Now let us discuss in detail about each and every type of hypersensitivity reactions, which is mediated by immune response, immune system in our body. Now, first let us discuss about type 1 hypersensitivity reactions. Type 1 hypersensitivity reactions. Now, in type 1 hypersensitivity reactions, the antigen is free and antibodies are fixed. This is the basics to be reminded, that is, in type 1 hypersensitivity, the antigens are free and floating, the antibodies are fixed. Now, let us consider these are the lungs. Now, any pollen antigen which is entering into our body, whenever any pollen antigen which is entered into our lungs and it is present in the alveoli. Now, whenever it is present at the site of alveoli, the macrophages should be reached towards this pollen antigen and it should engulf it. The macrophages should eat it and should phagocytose it. This is a normal phenomenon which is taking place in our body through the inflammation process. But in case of hypersensitivity reactions, this pollen antigen, which is foreign material which is entered into our body, it will activate the macrophages. So whenever, let us consider, it will activate the foreign particle which is entered into the lungs, it will activate the macrophage. Let us consider this is a macrophage in our body and this is a foreign particle which is present inside it and it is surrounded by vesicles, membrane bound vesicles, and it is digested by the lysosomal activity. So with the help of lysosomal activity, all the cells will be damaged, it will damage the cell wall, but some part of this foreign antigen will be left without digesting. So this is the part which is left inside the macrophages. Now in macrophages there is a genetic material. Let us consider this is a nucleus. Inside the nucleus it consists of chromosome number 6. This is a chromosome number 6 which consists of 2 chromosomes, one is from father and other is from mother. Now this chromosome number 6 on surface, it consists of special genes. Special genes will get activated. So let us draw this bigger. Special genes will get activated. Now the structure of the gene will be like this. It consists of 2 portions. One is anterior portion and other one is post. This is the anterior portion and this is the posterior portion. Now the anterior portion of this gene will be constant, whereas the posterior portion of this gene this anterior portion of this chromosome will be varied, whereas the posterior part of this genome will be remain constant. Now whenever chromosome number 6 is activated, now these genetic material will undergo transcription and translation process. It results in formation of special red color substances. These are the red color substances which are produced from the 6th chromosome. Now, these red color substance which are produced from the 6th chromosome are situated on surface of these macrophages. After synthesizing this red color substance, it will be translocated to the surface of these macrophages. Now, this special protein which is synthesized from the macrophage chromosome 6 is called MHC class 2 proteins. MHC class 2 proteins. These are MHC class 2 proteins. Now, with that, it also expels the foreign material. Now, this is a pollen antigen and this is MHC class 2 proteins. Now, this is antigen presenting cell. There is also called antigen presenting cell. Now, this antigen presenting cell, it will be exposed to the T helper cells. Now, let us consider this is a T helper cell. Let us consider this is one T helper cell. Now, on surface of T helper cell, it consists of T cell receptors. These are the T cell receptors. This is the T cell receptors, and there is another type of receptor. This is another type of receptor, and this is one T cell receptor. Now, this T cell receptor will be binding with the pollen antigen. It will get binded with the pollen antigen, whereas this another molecule will get binded to the MHC class 2 molecule. Now, this blue color chemical which is produced on surface of this membrane is called CD4. These are CD4 markers which is attached to the MHC class 2 proteins. Attached to the MHC class 2 proteins. Now, after attaching the MHC class 2 proteins and TCR with this antigen presenting cell, there is one more chemicals which are released from this. This is another chemical which is released from the antigen presenting cell. So, this is called interleukin 1. It is released from the antigen presenting cell, that is interleukin 1. Now, this is T helper cell which is attached to the foreign antigen, and also it is attached to the MHC class 2 protein, so that they will get fused to each other. Now, after these T helper cells, after fusing with this MHC class 2 protein which is expressed on the surface of antigen presenting cell, that is macrophages. Now, internal signals in the T helper cells will get activated. First, let us discuss this is the genetic material. Let us consider this is a genetic material inside the T helper cells. Now, whenever it is attached to the macrophage, they will send the internal signals to this genetic material. It will send the internal signals toward the genetic material. Now, the internal signals which are generated from the receptors which are present on T helper cells, these special internal stimuli is called CD3. That is CD3. This is a CD4 which is binding to the MHC class 2 protein, whereas CD3 is the internal response which is generated from the membrane proteins, that is T cell receptors and CD4 markers. Now, whenever these CD3, that is internal signals, are generated, it will reach the genetic material of T helper cells. Now, in T helper cells, the special gene will get activated. The special gene will get activated. Now, this gene will generate special type of protein. Generate special type of protein that is called interleukin 4. Whenever this gene which is present on genome of T helper cell is activated, then it produces special protein, that is interleukin 4 is produced. Now, after that, the gene which is present alternate to this special gene, another gene will get activated. So whenever this another gene is expressed, then it releases one more special protein. That protein will get stuck at the surface of this protein. It will get stuck to the surface of this membrane. Now, this is also called interleukin 4 transporter. Interleukin 4 transporter. Whenever it is synthesizing, whenever this interleukin 4 transporter is synthesized, then this interleukin 4 will get attached here. It will get attached here. Now, after attaching interleukin 4 with this transmembranous proteins, now it will generate the special signals and it will activate the another set of genes on genetic material of T helper cells. Whenever this another set of gene is activated, then it releases the special protein. It will release a special protein. Let us consider this is a special protein which is associated with the mitosis. It is associated with the mitosis. So, whenever mitosis genes are activated, then the number of this T helper cell will get increased. In this way, the T helper cells number will get increased. Which is containing the pollen antigen. It consists of pollen antigen. On surface, it consists of the pollen antigens. Now, let us consider this is the first part of hypersensitivity reactions. That is, whenever the pollen antigen is entered into our body, it will activate the macrophages. In macrophage, chromosome 6 will get activated. It produces the special proteins that are called MHC class 2 proteins, and it will also expose the antigen, that is pollen antigen, on surface. Now it will get attracted by the T helper cells. After attracting with the T helper cells, then special internal signals are generated, that is CD3. These are called CD3 markers. Now, whenever CD3 markers are generating the genetic material, now it will activate the special gene which is produces the interleukin 4, and next the gene which is present next to this special gene will activate it, and it forms a transporter for the interleukin 4, and it will get stuck at the surface of this T helper cells. Now, whenever these transporter protein are synthesized, then interleukin 4 will get stuck up here. Now, after stacking up this with this membrane protein, it will activate another set of genes which are present on genetic material of T helper cells. Now, after attaching with this, after activating this special gene on T helper cells, it will activate another set of protein that is related with mitosis. So, whenever the mitosis related genes are activated, then it results in increasing the number of T helper cells. So, this is the part 1 of type 1 hypersensitivity reactions. Now, coming to the part 2 of hypersensitivity reactions. In our body, lymphocytes are of two types. One is T lymphocytes and other one is B lymphocytes. Now, let us consider this is one of the B lymphocyte, that is B cell. On surface of B cell, it consists of B cell receptors. Let us consider these are the B cell receptors. Now, whenever the mitosis of this T helper cells are done, it will increases its number. Now, these T helper cells will release special kind of protein. Release a special kind of protein which will get binded to the B cell receptors. So these are called B cell receptors. These are called T cell receptors and these are called B cell receptors. Now, it will activate the special kind of proteins on B cell receptors. Special kind of protein will get attached. After attaching, it also involves in internal signaling of B cells. Internal signals will get stimulated. Internal signals will get stimulated. Then they will release special genetic material inside the genes. Special gene will get activated. Then this special gene will get activated. Then it results in formation of two different types of cells. One is memory cells, while the other one is plasma cells. So these two types of cells are activated, that is memory cells and plasma cells. Inside consist of genetic materials. So these plasma cells undergoes certain modifications and will result in the formation of antibodies. It forms special type of antibodies. Now, these antibodies which are produced from the B lymphocytes will get exposed or will get attached to the surface of mast cells. Will get attached to the surface of mast cells. Let us consider this is one mast cell. On surface of the mast cell, it consists of receptors for antibodies. It consists of receptors for antibodies, and this is the nucleus. Now, these antibodies which are produced with the help of plasma cells of B lymphocytes, they will get attached to the mast cells. In this way, they will get attached to the mast cells. On surface of receptors. So, after attaching of these antibodies with the receptors of on mast cells, they will get accumulated inside the body. So, this is one of the important hallmark of type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. So, here the antibodies are produced in our body, which is attached to the surface of mast cells. So, in part 2, whenever again these pollen grains or pollen antigens which is entered into our body, it will reach this circulation, and whenever it reaches the circulation, it will get exposed to the surface of these antibodies. So these antibodies which is sticked on surface, in hypersensitivity reaction we told that antigens are free whereas antibodies are fixed. So the antibodies are fixed on surface of matched cells whereas the antigens are free. So whenever the antigens are coming into our body, let us consider this is the antigen which is coming here and it will reach this matched cells. Let us consider this is the antigen which is attached to these antibodies. So after attaching with these antibodies, internal signaling will get activated. So internal signaling will get activated. The first pathway, after the internal signaling will get activated, then it involves in damaging the cytoplasm and involves the granules which are present in the cytoplasm will be removed out. First of all, it damages the cytoplasm. It will damage the cytoplasm, then it involves in expelling the granules, histamines, and protease. Whenever the cytoplasm is denatured, it involves in expelling of the granules, histamines, and protease. So this is the first pathway through which it will damage the antigens. Second pathway is it will damage the genetic material. It will damage the genetic material. Whenever the genetic material is damaged, it also involves in damaging the protease enzyme. Protease enzyme will get activated. So protease enzyme will get activated, and whenever the protease enzyme is activated, neutrophil will get coming to this area and it will engulf these mast cells. So this is the second pathway. Coming to the third pathway, it will attack the membrane. It will attack the membrane. Whenever it is attacking the membrane, there are special kind of proteins which will be denatured and release. It will release the arachidonic acid. And it also releases platelet factor. In this way, whenever these antigens which are fixed onto the surface of antibodies, it will activate this cell and it involves in damaging of cytoplasm, and it involves in damaging the genetic material, and it involves in damaging the membrane. In this way, it will get damaged. So this is the hypersensitivity reaction, type 1 hypersensitivity reactions. Now, let us discuss about type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. Type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. The basic fundamental of type 2 hypersensitivity reactions is the antigen is fixed whereas antibodies are free. This is the basic fundamentals to be remembered, that In type 2 hypersensitivity reactions, the antigens are fixed. It may be intrinsic or it may be extrinsic, or antibodies will be free and floating in the serum. Now, these type 2 hypersensitivity reactions are again classified into 3 different forms. It is again divided into 2 forms, that is, first one is target cell depletion without inflammations. Target cell depletions without inflammations. So this is the first category which is discussed under type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. This is the first category, that is target cell depletions without inflammations. So the hypersensitivity reaction which is mediated without the inflammations is called target cell depletion without inflammation. Now, second category is FC mediated or receptor mediated hypersensitivity. FC or receptor mediated inflammations. This is the second one, that is FC or receptor mediated inflammation. That is, first one is target cell depletion without inflammations, second one is receptor mediated inflammations, and third one is cell mediated or antibody mediated inflammations. Antibody mediated cell inflammations. These are the 3 categories which can be studied under the type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. Now, under type 2 hypersensitivity reactions, it is categorized into 3 forms, that is target cell depletion without inflammations and receptor mediated inflammations, and third one is antibody mediated inflammations. Now, let us discuss about each and every one in detail. First, let us discuss about target cell depletion without inflammation. So here there will be no inflammation process which will be taking place in this type, but whereas in type 2, let us consider this is A and B and C, whereas in A type of process there will be no inflammation process, but in case of B and C there will be inflammation process with the help of natural killer cells or neutrophils. It will be taking place, that is inflammation, whereas in A type there is no inflammation process will be taking place. Now, let us discuss the examples under A type, that is target depletion without any inflammations. First, let us consider this is one RBC. Let us consider this is one of the RBC, and on surface of RBC, let us consider these is the antigens. Let's consider these are the antigens. Now, whenever it is exposed to the immune system, now neutrophil will be coming here. Neutrophil will get coming here, and with the help of the neutrophil, with the help of enzyme called protease, with the help of the enzyme protein kinase, help of enzyme the protein kinase, it will engulf this antigen without help of any inflammation. So this is one of the example of A process. And let us discuss another process, that is, let us consider this is RBC. On surface of RBC, it consists of antigens. Whenever antigens are present, it will activate the antibodies. So this is the Fc portion of antibody. When the Fc portion of antibody is activated, then it forms complementary protein C1, C4, C2, C3, C5, C6, C7, C8 and C9. So in this way the complementary proteins will be formed. So C5, C6, C7, C8 and C9. This is called membrane attacking complex. So it will get detached from here. It will get detached from here. It forms C1, C4, C2, C3. Now, so these are called complementary proteins. Whenever it is exposed to the antibodies, whenever it is exposed to the inflammation, without inflammation, the neutrophils will get absorbing this process. With the help of protein kinase enzyme. With the help of the protein kinase enzyme, it will engulf this. So, in this way, the antigen which is present on surface of the cell will get denatured without inflammation process. That is discussed under the target cell depletion without inflammations. This is type first category, which is discussed under type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. Now, this is type 1, which can be studied under this. Now, it can be done with also, this is done by the neutrophils, and it can also be done with the help of natural killer cells. So this is first process which is discussed under type 2 hypersensitivity reaction, that is target cell depletion without inflammations. Now, receptor mediated inflammations. Now, what is receptor mediated inflammations means? Let us consider this is glomerulus, let us consider this is glomerulus, and let us consider this is our glomerulus. On surface of the glomerulus, if any antigens are present, or in case of glomerular nephritis, any antigens are present on surface glomerulus, then it will activate the special type of antibodies. Then the Fc portion will get activated. Then C1 will be attached, C4 will be attached, C2 will get attached, and C3 will get attached. So it forms complementary proteins. It forms the complementary proteins. Now, neutrophils will get coming in this area. Neutrophil will get come to this area with the help of enzyme called protein kinase. It will engulf this. It is receptor mediated inflammation process, and this is one example, that is glomerular nephritis. This is one example, whereas another example is acute rheumatic fever. rheumatic fever. So this is second type of receptor mediated inflammation that is discussed under hypersensitivity type 2. Whereas antibody mediated cell inflammation is first example. Let us discuss about Gray disease or Gray syndrome. Graves' disease. In Graves' disease, let us discuss. This is a follicle. Thyroid stimulating follicle, TSH. Now, this is a normal thyroid stimulating follicle. In our body, this, let us consider this is immune headquarters. It will release the special type of antigen, antibodies. Will release a special type of antibodies. Now, this TSH will contain receptors for these antibodies. Contains the receptors for this special type of antibodies, antibodies. Now, these antibodies will get attached here. It forms antigen-antibody complexes. We know the antibodies are attached to the surface of receptors of antibodies. Now, the function of this TSH will get increased. Function of these follicles will get increased. So, there will be increased production of T3 and there will be increased production of T4. So, there will be hyperthyroidism. It results in hyperthyroidism. This is the first type of disease which can be studied under antibody mediated cell immunity. Now next one is autoimmune disorders. So this is about type 2 hypersensitivity reactions which can be studied under target cell depletion without inflammations, FC or receptor mediated inflammations, antibody mediated cell inflammations. So this is about type 2 hypersensitivity reactions.